Hello everyone, and sorry it's been so long, but I am back. This is going to be a bit of a talking video. I also need some help. Before you leave, please comment on your favorite 5 kill teams and 5 characters in Warhammer 40k, along with a little bit of why you like them. Later in this video I'll be getting into why that matters, but if you're not interested in listening to me talk, but you're willing to leave those comments, please do. So the two big topics that this video is going to cover is my friend and I are learning 40k in 9th edition. I've been playing since 5th edition, I think? Maybe 4th? I'm not sure. We didn't actually have a rule book the first couple games we played, or the first year we played. We were just kids playing the game. But I haven't played any 9th edition yet. And I didn't play nearly as much 8th as I wanted to. So my friend who's never played any Warhammer, we got him into Kill Team a little while ago. He's been playing Thousand Suns. He's even played in a couple tournaments. He really enjoys it, likes the models, he likes the lore mostly. Recently though, we got him into building, and I was teaching him how to prime last time I saw him. And he's going to be painting. He's been picking up a couple tips here and there, but he wants to paint, which is really nice. So he will be building and painting his army. He will be focusing on Space Wolves, so Space Marines with Space Wolves, and I'm going to be helping him. Not necessarily painting his models, but helping him with painting techniques, modeling techniques, basing, the things when you get into the hobby, it's really handy to have someone else that has done it. Sorry about that. We are also doing a Path to the Painted, a campaign that I will be doing battle reports for, starting with Indomitus. So this will be an Indomitus unboxing video, which will probably be the next video I post, which will also go into details about this, but I'm doing it now anyway. So we are starting off with mirror match games. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of that, but I don't think I've ever seen a mirror match on YouTube. So we're definitely doing it that way. This will help me learn and help him learn. He can see what someone with experience does with a unit and kind of take into his own why, and then he can try it. He can see if it doesn't work, if it does work, and gain the experience of both of us playing those units. So the first game will be very small. It will be the Indomitus Lieutenant, the one with the shield and Volkite pistol or something, and 5 Primaris Close Combat Intercessors. That's it. We each get it. We play on a very small table with a kill to the last man, like last man standing wins. Probably be really quick. Haven't decided, but we're probably going to do best of 3 just because of how quick it will be. And then we will do it again with the exact same units. But, forgot to mention, the first one will be Space Marine versus Space Marine. No rules. We won't generate command points each turn. We won't have stratagems except for rerolls. It'll be very, very basic. It's so that he can learn and I can get back into simple things like movement, shooting, charging, declaring things, going through the steps, the phases. And then the second game, or set of games, will be the exact same, but he will have Codex Space Wolves, I will have Codex Blood Angels. So, exact same army, but different rules. So he'll have the Space Wolves +1 to hit, I'll have the Blood Angels +1 to wound. We can see how that interacts with the game. Then we'll be adding 3 Blade Guard and the guy with the banner. I think he's... I don't know. The guy with the banner. I'm just going to stick with that. Those will each be added to each of our teams. And the same thing. We will have a Space Marine game. And then we will have a Blood Angels versus Space Wolves. Blood Angels versus Space Wolves. And when we do those games, we will be open to stratagems like that our codex has, that Marines have, that the rulebook has. But the missions will still be very custom because it's designed to teach. Like, that's the whole point of this, is so that me and him can get back into it. The next unit will be 5 more intercessors and the Judicaire. Then the next unit will be the 3 eradicators with the chaplain. And then finally we will have the 3 bikes with the actual captain. So that will give us 5 games, best of 3, so that'll be 15 games. And then the same thing with chapters, which will be 15 more games, which will be 30 games just with Indominus. So I think that'll be a good way to start. Since we both have Indominus, we can both use the models, we can both go from there. It is a very good starting point. It gives us some troop, some elite, some fast, some heavy, and some characters. And from there, we are going to continue, and I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know where it is. We are continuing further. Actually, no. It is in my book. Just give me one sec. Okay. So from there, we're going to add 3 aggressors and a captain in Gravis armor. Because again, we both have both of those models. And the whole point is to paint his collection before his collection looks like mine, which is thousands of unpainted, unbuilt models everywhere. We want him to build, to paint, and play. And then when he gets a unit, build and paint it, and then play with it. Even if it's not good and he just bought it for collecting purposes, play the game. Then we're going to go to 10 Primaris Marines with bolt rifles and a chaplain in Terminator armor. Reason being, he picked up the limited edition one. I had the older version of it, so we both have a version of it, and it gives us 10 more basic Marines, well, Primaris Marines, so that later on when we play games, we will have a total of 20 Primaris troop models. 4 units of 5, 2 units of 10, 1 10, 2 5s, however you want to look at it. We have that option as a base, also built and painted. And then lastly, it will be 3 more aggressors and a chaplain on a bike. Primaris chaplain on a bike, actually, to be very specific. So with that, it gives us too many characters to really play a normal game of 40k, but it gives us over 1,500 points just to start. And that'll be fully built and painted. From there, we'll, drop a couple characters, switch in for different things, and play 500, 1,000, 1,500 point, 2,000 point games. And just kind of grow his collection from there, while I work on painting my stuff, which is my biggest thing, because I also bought Indominus, and I want to get painting, which is my big goal this year. And also, while this is happening, but not involving him, unless one of my friends also, depending on COVID, because that's a thing now, just for reference, my area that I live in is not a red zone. It's not, there's like almost no cases in the last, since it started. And most of them have been people traveling from bigger cities. So where we are, it's pretty relaxed. I'm essentially a essential worker, even though I don't do anything that I find essential, but that is what it is. And yeah, so in addition to that, I will be doing the same path to the painted, except I will be doing Space Marines and Necrons. So I will play a first game, which will be Space Marines versus Space Marines with my friend. Then Blood Angels versus Space Wolves with my friend. Then I will be playing Space Marines versus Necrons. Then I will be playing Blood Angels versus whatever dynasty I choose. It might be custom, it might be a set one. I might use it to try different ones. But it will be the same process going through the Indomitus box. So the first game will be 10 Necron Warriors with the original Gauss weapon and a Lord. The second one will be the 3 Scaraptic Destroyers, the guys with the legs, and their version of the Lord. The next game will be 10 Warriors with the double tap weapons and the Royal Warden. Then it will be 3 Scarabs, one the little guy that's like a one of, and the Plasmancer. And then finally it will be 3 Scarabs, 2 Crypt Thralls, and the Reanimator. Again, that will fill out Indomitus and give a whole bunch more. I'll give 10 more games, best of 3. Then after that, I will continue going with 3 destroyers, with the floaty ones, the Locust Destroyers, and a Locust Destroyer Lord. And then I will be doing 5 Lich Guard and a Technomancer. And then finally some Wraiths with another Plasmancer. This will give me not quite the same amount of points, but it will increase what I have painted. As I do this, each level, as you can see in the picture, there's some terrain. I will be doing 1 of pieces of terrain each game as well, so that will be 1. I will be doing 2 crates, just as this is just primed, it's not painted. So 2 crates will be 1 terrain piece. Then this guy, got some of these primed, ready to go. And then these buildings, I have a whole bunch of this terrain, and it really is a good size, especially for smaller games. And you can, go up top. It's not like crazy high distances and stuff. But I want to do 1 terrain piece with each set of videos. So I'll be doing 5 Marines, a Lieutenant, 1 piece of terrain, 10 Warriors, and a Lord. Then I'll be doing the 4 videos, or 4 sets of 3 videos that go along with that. And then continue that down the list of 8. And then that will give me 8 pieces of terrain built and painted, so that when we get into bigger games, we can start actually having terrain and then start theming it more and just kind of go from there. The biggest thing is taking things that I have, not buying more, and just getting them done. I've actually been building and priming a lot, and that's kind of where we're going with that. Then we have the second topic for today. I have challenged another one of my friends who is moving back to the area to a collection challenge. It is going to be every 40K model that he has versus all the models I have that are fully painted. Now, we've done a couple big 10,000 point each mega games, not Apocalypse, no Apocalypse formations, anything like that. They were just large games. And they took like 8 full hours of playing each day for 2 days. So it's like 16 hours of play to do one game. And as much as we enjoyed it, we don't really want to do that, especially with the restrictions and stuff like that going on. We just don't want to do it. So we've decided to do 1 year from New Year's. So technically 2022, because 2021 will be a painting year, and then we will play probably the first, or start playing as early as the first. I mean, I don't know what our New Year's will look like or what the world will be doing at that point, but we will see. So the way it will work as far as hobby goes is I'm going to dedicate 3 4-month blocks to painting different armies, and I'll go to that in a sec, but more on the challenge. He currently has over 30,000 points painted, which is really good for him. I definitely do not. I think I have 2, maybe 3,000 points of Tyranids painted, and then a couple models here and there. Definitely not my collection. So the whole point of this, more or less, is for me to paint, and if I don't, he gets the privilege of absolutely massacring me. And even if I do get stuff painted, then we just have a game. So the way it will work, so the reason why, I just need to paint my models. In order for an army to qualify, it must be painted by you. So we can't last minute go out and be like, oh, I bought this Imperial Knight army that had 6 knights in it that I didn't paint. That doesn't count. It has to be a minimum of 3,000 points. So you can't be like, oh, I've got 1,000 points of an elite from this army, this army, this army, and this army. We want to avoid that. And it has to fill the minimum requirements of a brigade. So a brigade has 3 HQs, 6 troop, 3 fast, 3 heavy, and 3 elite, if I didn't already say that. This means that you can't min-max to such a degree, because some armies you might not own fast attack. So if you can't fill 3 slots of fast attack, you can't use that army. And it's not like any of us own armies that don't have those options, like Custodes or Sisters of Silence, not Sisters of Battle. And anything like Imperial Knights also don't follow the brigade, because obviously they have super heavies and that's it. So the rule of 3 will apply only for characters. The reason for this is because his collection, he went out of his way to get 100 Terminators, and that's collection. Like, he's done that like for a reason. And I don't want to limit that, because personally I think that's, not right, especially when you're doing a collection challenge. He also has a collection of Wraith Lords that he was converting into Phoenix Lords, and they just look cool. Like, I don't want him to have to pick 3 and not be able to use the rest. It doesn't make sense. So, getting into that a little more, he is playing Dark Angels, and he is playing Eldar, specifically Ayenden. He has a lot of Wraith Guard, a lot of Wraith Lords. He's got, I think, 3 Wraith Knights, and a whole bunch of characters to go with them. He's got the 2 of the Forge World Wraith Seer, and he has a actual Titan. Forge World, I think it's the Revenant Titan, and I think it's close to 2,000 points right now. I haven't got the new book yet, but we will see. So he has easily 10,000 points of each, because we actually played a game where we had 10,000 points, and he played one with Eldar, one with Dark Angels, and it was not his full force of those, and he's been painting since. So there's that. We are discussing between the 2 of us all of our purchases between now and then. So if he buys an upgrade pack for shoulder pads and heads and stuff, that's fine. That really doesn't matter, doesn't affect the game. But if one of us were to go out and buy like 3 Titans and then paint them up real quick, it's like all of a sudden that's like 6,000-7,000 points that you just have that you didn't have before. And it's like, that's a little too much, because we want this to be fun. And we are doing... So the way it is going to work is a campaign. So we're going to do a list of every model that we have, including, he has, I think, 7 Farseers. Those will be rule of 3, limited to 3. Now that will be 3 on foot and 3 jet bikes, so he will have 6. If he has that many jet bikes, I'm not sure. But write down everything you own that's built and painted, so that we have a actual physical copy of our collection that we can add to as we progress. And then what we do is submit it, and well, we rule of three it with the characters, stuff like that, and then we submit it to each other so that anything you get after that you can't add, and everything in it is what you have. So it's almost like a roster in Kill Team where you have everything on it, and then we're going to play a 500 point game today. You build 500 point list out of what you have. And then if anything dies, it is eliminated from the collection. Now, obviously, they don't have to sell the model or destroy it, but it is done. Put it on the shelf, put it away, whatever. And anything that lives stays on your roster, and then you go to the next game. We're going to start off with a 3,000 point game, because it is a larger game, and it's also a chance to just, what are you going to take? What am I going to take? What can I risk dying in our first game? Stuff like that. And we're just going to continue playing 500, 1,000, 1,500 point, and 2,000 point games, with some exceptions of the 3,000 point game. We have a couple custom scenarios we want to do. We want to get a whole bunch of buildings like this, cover most of the table, and do a sniper fight. So snipers are dedicated to each building, and then you fight until there's no one left of your opponent, or until so many turns, or we haven't fully decided. We have over a year to do it. Another one is we want to do a character death match. So you have characters lined up, and then you roll a dice, and one of them is allowed to go onto the board. Then the next turn, another one comes on the board, and so on and so forth. Choose maybe 5 characters. They can be anything from named characters to, not a sergeant, but like a lieutenant or a cryptech or whatever. Anything that's a character, but it doesn't necessarily have to be good. It's more of a chance to eliminate HQs, I guess, because we both have a lot of HQs, and we don't want to not use them, but we also want a chance to kind of take them out of our opponent's roster. Then, getting back to my plan for the 4 months, the first 4 months I am going to focus Space Marines, Necrons, and a little bit of terrain, and that's it. I'm not going to work on other armies. I'm not going to work on... I'm still doing commissions, so that will cut into it a bit, but I want to focus on the Space Marines and the Necrons. I want to do the Path to the Painted campaign, which will give me about 1,500 points. Then I want to build a 2,000 point list that I would use on a regular basis. So if I went to a tournament or if someone wanted to have a regular game, then I want to fill out a brigade so that it's, I'm allowed to use it in the game or the campaign. Then I want to get it up to 5,000 points. So 5,000 points is a reasonable collection. It's not even half of what I own of Space Marines, but it's a good start. So if I can hit that, even just with the Space Marines, this whole thing will be worth it for me. I'll have a tournament technically ready list. Again, COVID really messing stuff like that up. But I'll have options. I will have minimum 6 troop. I will have 3 fast, 3 elite, 3 heavy, 3 HQ. And then whatever options I want on top of that. If I want to add in some flyers, some dedicated transports, I can. If I want to add in alternate choices, I can. If I want to add in Blood Angel specifics, I can. And then when that 4 months is done, my obvious goal is 5,000 points fully painted of Space Marines and Necrons, because the Necrons will be doing the same thing. Exact same process, everything. And then when that's done, the next 4 months will be Tyranids versus Orcs. So Tyranids is what I have most painted, so that won't actually be that hard to get up to the 5,000 points. But the Orcs, I think I have 3 models done, and they're Orcs, so even their vehicles, there's a lot going on. You want them to look cool. I don't necessarily want to slap paint on them. I actually want them to be, good looking. I want them to be finished. I want them to be what I want to put on the table later on. Then when those are done, I'm going to be doing a little bit of terrain while that's going as well. And finally, we have Grey Knights and Imperial Knights. Now, this one won't be going to the full 5,000. The Grey Knights will be doing a brigade and doing a Path to the Painted campaign as well. I'm not sure how the points are going to work. It'll probably be one Imperial Knight and a bunch of Grey Knights, and then add in some like one Armiger, a unit of Grey Knights, another Armiger, a bunch of Knights, another big Knight, a whole bunch of Grey Knights, and then continuing that way. And that's where I'm going to do the kill teams and characters and other models. Now, when I say other models, I mean Imperial Assassins. I mean unaligned things like Spindle Drones or Amble or, whatever that means. And then the kill teams, we play kill team. We play it a fair bit. We've, not during COVID, but just before COVID, I ran 2 tournaments and my friend ran a tournament. So we've been playing and, teaching people how to play kill team. So we want to keep playing kill team. He's actually working on a couple new kill teams, and that gives him something to work on while I'm painting as furious as I can. But I need 5 kill teams to go against his 5 kill teams in missions to play so that we learn more about kill team and stuff like that while we go. And then the kill teams and 500-point games along the way we will be using to accomplish goals to create our own Primarch. So essentially, we both have a Guilliman model. His is converted to be Dark Angels, so it's not Guilliman anymore. And mine will be converted to be Blood Angel just because cool looking model, but we don't play Ultramarines, and we're limited to Ultramarines to use him, and we don't want that. So from there, I figure why not use ours for something that is unique. So we're going to build our own Primarch, build our own weapon stats, auras, psychic powers if we want to go that direction. We're going to start off with the stats of a Space Marine and increase our weapon skill, ballistic skill, our movement, strength, toughness, attacks, special abilities, our weapons, everything. And we're going to do it by playing games. So one example is we could pick wounds. We play a game of kill team, the winner gets D3 wounds, the loser gets 1 wound. So instead of being a 2 wound Primarch, you're now a 3 to 6 wound Primarch. Which, again, not very good, but if we played like 25 games, and some of them we choose what we upgrade, it allows a customized character for us. You might not care about movement and have them foot slogging really slow around, or you might give them a jump pack and have them fly. Same thing with weapons. You could have a bolter that upgrades to a storm bolter, to a heavy bolter, to a hurricane bolter, and then you could get some crazy ability like Melta. Having a hurricane bolter with the Melta keyword would be pretty crazy. Have like 12 shots, and then when you get at half range, they're all damage 4. Like, that would be crazy. And then we also have the characters. While we play these games, we have a chance to unlock up to 5 characters that are not part of our armies. So, for example, he has Ghazghkull model. Painted, everything good to go, sitting on a shelf. Well, if he wins the game that allows him to use Ghazghkull, he can now use him in his collection. And if he doesn't die, he gets to bring him back game after game after game. So with that, I've got a bunch of options. I have access to a couple different armies. I have a bunch of characters already. I've thought of a couple. There's the Eldar Avatar, because the model looks cool. There's Eldrad from Eldar as well, because that's his favorite model. So using him is kind of like a little stab in the stomach. And then we have, what else do we have? Looking at boxes, we've got Admech, we've got Genestealer Cult, we've got Eldar, Dark Eldar, Harlequins. We have Chaos, we have Chaos Demons, and just an array of different things. We do have a limit of 2 big creatures, so Bloodthirster, Avatar of Cain, stuff like that, and then 3 to 5 little guys. So you don't have to bring 2 big guys, but you can. Now, playing Orcs, Ghazghkull will be in my list. Playing Tyranids, I've got those. We've also limited 3 named characters per army. So 3,000 points with a brigade just for a chance to qualify. And then you have your 3 characters. So that's what that's all about. And then before I leave, because I think I've covered everything, we have the Destroyer Lord. And then we have a converted using his torso. Focus. We have another Destroyer Lord. And then we have a Cryptek. Whoa. He is rebuilding the Necron Warrior. So, with all that being said, hope you enjoy this, and I hope you follow along. Also, if you have any requests or hopes for the channel, please leave a comment and let me know.